Alright, I tried taking 3 videos, and I'm gonna sum this up really quick. You plug your drone in. Don't plug the battery in yet. Just plug your drone in. Go to setup. See if the drone moves. It should move right. Your drone nose camera should be facing away from the computer, or otherwise it won't look right in the computer, and it won't kind of move right in the computer. So yeah, if you got your drone facing the computer, plug it in. Everything will look right when you move it around. It should already be set up because your receiver is already plugged into your drone. If it's not, make sure you got your receiver plugged into the right UART and them turned on to whatever they need to be, like iBus, SBus, whatever it's supposed to be. This should already be set up. If you ever get a GPS, you gotta enable the GPS and know the UARTs. These are all extra things that you can enable. I would just leave it alone because it should already be set up. Otherwise, watch the videos and find out what you're exactly doing. I turn off the beeps. Should already be set up. Receiver, when your battery's plugged in. Why won't it show me? Wow, what the fuck is going on here? Refresh. Wow, it's not letting me go to receiver. So when you go to receiver, you should see your controller. If it's bound up correctly and you have your ports on correctly, it'll actually work right. If you don't have your receiver on the right UART and then the right thing clicked on, like if it's on something it's not supposed to be on, it's not going to work right because your controller is not going to talk to the receiver right. If you got all that right, your sticks will work right, and it'll actually move in the picture correctly. See me doing that, yeah. So if you got your receiver on the right port and all that done, and you got it on the right receiver and the right, all that stuff, yeah, you can move along, and you can actually set your modes. I never play with your battery plugged in and start flipping your modes. You just don't need to do that. The only time you need your battery plugged in is to see if your controller is talking to your drone, and possibly to test your motors. And you never have your fucking blades on when you test your motors. I smacked the shit out of my fucking hand, and I'll tell you how many other times I hurt my fucking self. So yeah, your blades shouldn't really be plugged on when your battery's plugged in. I just leave mine on because I'm a fucking dumbass. But don't uncheck that box and move that up with your battery plugged in, because your blades will smack the fuck out of you. Okay? I'm glad I said it like that. This is how you start your on-screen stuff. You can change and show your stuff. I only have a few things I show, like my name, my compass, my battery voltage, how much each cell is showing, if I'm armed or disarmed. I have that dead center, armed or disarmed. I have my fly mode showing, my altitude, my G-force, how many satellites I have, a timer for my hold time, and my RSSI value. It's like my controller signal strength. I flashed my controller so that I could have a signal strength on a channel, and then I bound that channel on Betaflight to a channel. See, so I went into my controller and said, alright, I want RSSI to be on this channel, and then I went on Betaflight and said, alright, I use this channel for RSSI, and then it knows to show me the number format here, and I can move these around, but I'm not going to move these. I can move these wherever I want to be, so I can see them, remove them, or get rid of them. Some cameras you would change the format. This one's on auto. I was always told if you know what you're using, just fucking click it on. I just left this one on auto. You can flick it on and then hit save and then see it not working, and then click it on the next one and see it work. And that's one way. Or just leave it on auto. Units are for like numbers like mile per hour and stuff like that. Imperial is like mile per hour. Metric would be like kilometers and all that stuff. I don't like that. I like to know how many miles per hour I'm going. You can change this. Like this is your alarm right here. I have my alarm to let me know around 30 this starts flashing. This is like my battery capacity, so it lets me know kind of the average, like, oh, your battery started off with this at 100%, and then when you start to actually use it, it'll actually should be in the right deadness by cell voltage, because it knows like 3.4 is the lowest, so it'll combine them. Anyways, yeah, you can change all these. But yeah, that's why you should plug it in. You plug it in, make sure that your drone is actually moving correctly, and then check your ports and make sure your receiver's plugged in. Make sure your receiver has the right configuration there, and then make sure that your battery's plugged in, and you can move your sticks once you got it bound right, and then you can do your modes. And I'm not going to flick my switches with my battery plugged in. Hold on. Let me reconnect. Oh, sorry, my USB plug did that. That happens when you get used so much. If this one doesn't plug in correctly, it doesn't pick it up. There we go. If you go to your modes, you can flip your switches and see it actually flick through the modes and work correctly. That's why I recommend taking the blades off, because if you got your battery plugged in and you need your battery to be plugged in so your receiver works, don't have your blades on, because you don't want an error. Betaflight will save you and stop your motors from spinning. Just don't rely on it. Take your blades off, plug your battery in, and then use your controller and make sure these work correctly. If you got your modes set correctly, I only use angle, which is like the weird mode that people like to fly in, like the YouTubers. It's like every fucking which way, or horizon, which keeps you level, and you can flip and do all that, but it'll flip you outright. Don't rely on it, because it may flip and like not actually level out correctly, and you might have to land. GPS rescue is what you would use for it to come home. Failsafe is not GPS rescue. GPS rescue is GPS rescue. In order to do that, you need to enable expert mode, and then you come down here to GPS. Sorry, not GPS. Where is it? It's failsafes. You go under failsafes. Yeah, I know it's weird. Modes. You think failsafe under modes would be the failsafe? No. GPS rescue under failsafe. You would leave it on stage 1. You would leave these. These already should be on hold. Just going to leave your RSSI on, leave these on, whatever you left it on. But it's going to set your GPS rescue when you lose controller reception. There's a YouTube video on this, or I'll show you this stuff later. But this is what happens when this clicks on, or if anything bad happens, it'll come home. You can have it land on land or drop. This is like how fast it happens. This is like, yeah, you just need to watch the videos on this stuff. That's your basic stuff.